Imagine waking up in the morning, not feeling groggy, not reaching for that first cup of coffee out of desperation, but instead feeling alert, focused, and ready to take on the day with clarity and energy. Science shows that this isn't about luck, genetics, or some mysterious secret. It's about working with your biology instead of against it. The autonomic nervous system is the hidden switchboard of your entire body, silently orchestrating every heartbeat, every breath, every subtle adjustment in your blood pressure and hormone release. It operates beneath your conscious awareness, yet it determines whether you feel restless and anxious or calm and restored. In a world that constantly pushes you into overdrive, where stress hormones drip into your bloodstream like a slow poison, understanding how to intentionally shift the system is like finding the master key to energy, clarity, and renewal. Gold. The autonomic nervous system has two primary branches: the sympathetic, which primes you for action, sharpening your senses and quickening your pulse, and the parasympathetic, which invites deep rest, healing, and regeneration. The challenge for most of us is that our modern lives keep us trapped in a near-permanent state of sympathetic activation. We wake to alarms, scroll through a barrage of news and notifications, race through traffic, work under constant deadlines, and carry mental to-do lists into our evenings. This constant on state depletes your nervous system and robs you of the deep restorative states your body desperately needs to repair and grow stronger. But there is a way. A method that doesn't require hours of meditation or days of retreat. 10 minutes. That's all it can take to deliberately flip the switch from the high alert mode of the sympathetic system to the calm, restorative parasympathetic state. 10 minutes to trigger a cascade of changes in your body that mimic the restorative power of hours of deep sleep. To understand how, you must appreciate that the autonomic nervous system is not entirely beyond your influence. While it operates automatically, it is wired in such a way that certain deliberate actions, particularly involving your breath, your visual field, and your internal focus, can send strong signals to shift its state. When you inhale deeply and quickly, your body leans towards sympathetic activation, preparing for action. But when you extend your exhales, when you deliberately slow your breathing and make it rhythmic, you stimulate the vagus nerve, a critical highway between your brain and vital organs, which activates the parasympathetic branch. This shift slows your heart rate, reduces blood pressure, and quiets the inner storm. The magic of these 10 minutes lies not only in breath, but also in how you control sensory input. Your nervous system constantly scans your environment for cues about whether you are safe or in danger. This is why dimming the lights, softening the sounds around you, and narrowing your visual focus can signal safety to the brain. Imagine closing your eyes or focusing softly on a single point while you breathe slowly and deep. This quieting of sensory input is like telling your ancient survival systems, the danger is gone. You can rest now. Your brain responds by shifting into brainwave patterns associated with early stages of sleep, ISA and theta waves. These are states where your mind feels fluid, creative, and calm, and your body is primed for cellular repair. This is also where the deeper restoration happens. In the parasympathetic state, your body diverts energy from your muscles and redirects it toward the immune system, digestion, and tissue repair. Hormones like growth hormone and melatonin, critical for repair and regeneration, become more available. In these precious minutes, the chemical profile inside your body begins to look like it does during the most restorative stages of sleep, even if you are fully awake. The result is a profound sense of refreshment, as if the fatigue has been lifted and your clarity restored. What's remarkable is that science now confirms what many ancient practices have known intuitively. The nervous system can be guided, persuaded, coaxed into healing modes through intentional patterns of breathing, stillness, and sensory control. It's not magic. It's neurobiology. The most powerful part of this understanding is that it gives you agency. Instead of being at the mercy of stress, you become the operator of your own recovery. You learn that you are not condemned to wait for nighttime to feel renewed, nor are you powerless when fatigue sets in midday. With intention and knowledge, you can create a pocket of restoration anytime, anywhere. Whether you are in an office, a car, or sitting quietly in your room, those 10 minutes can become a sanctuary where your mind clears, your body resets, and your spirit steadies. The autonomic nervous system will respond to the signals you give it, and in that obedience lies the path to resilience and strength that the world cannot easily shake. Your circadian rhythm is not just a sleep schedule, it's the master clock that governs nearly every process in your body. From when your cells repair themselves to how your hormones are released, this internal timekeeper sits deep in the brain in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it listens closely to one primary signal. The kind of light you receive, and when you receive it, can either align this clock with your optimal biology or throw it into disarray, leading to fatigue, poor mood, brain fog, and even long-term health problems. The modern world often works against this natural rhythm. We wake up under artificial indoor lighting that's too dim to fully signal a daytime into our brain. Then we stay up late, bathed in bright screens that tell our nervous system it's still noon. This confuses the circadian system, delaying the release of melatonin at night and dulling cortisol's wake-up call in the morning. The result is a flattened rhythm where you feel groggy when you should be alert and restless when you should be sleeping to reset the system and unlock energy that feels clean and sustainable. You need to use light with surgical precision. The first step is to get bright, natural light into your eyes within the first 30-60 minutes after waking. Morning sunlight is uniquely balanced with blue and yellow wavelengths that powerfully signal to the brain, it's daytime. Prepare for action. This stimulates a cortisol pulse that sets your energy baseline for the day and starts a countdown timer for nighttime sleep, roughly 16 hours later. You don't have to stare at the sun. Just being outside where the light is at least 10 times brighter than indoor lighting is enough. This simple act calibrates your circadian clock and stabilizes the rhythm of hormones, neurotransmitters, and body temperature that underlie mental clarity and emotional steadiness. Even more fascinating is how the evening light environment is equally important. In the last few hours before bed, your eyes become especially sensitive to short wavelength blue light, the kind emitted by most leaden screens. This light tells your brain it's still day, suppressing melatonin production and delaying sleep onset. By deliberately dimming your lights, avoiding overhead lighting, and limiting bright screens after sunset, you signal to the clock that the day is closing. This allows melatonin to rise naturally, body temperature to drop, and your nervous system to shift toward rest. Eye changes, like switching to warm-colored lamps in the evening, can have surprisingly large effects on your sleep quality and the depth of your nightly restoration once your circadian rhythm is properly aligned. You experience a more powerful form of restfulness. Sleep becomes deeper and more efficient, meaning you need less total time to feel fully recovered. Waking up feels less like dragging yourself out of a fog and more like stepping into a current of energy already moving through you. Your mood stabilizes because serotonin, dopamine, and other neurotransmitters operate on a stable, predictable rhythm. Even your digestion, immune system, and ability to focus during the day are enhanced because those systems are also tied to the circadian clock. You are essentially syncing your biology with the original 24-hour template it evolved under, the same pattern that has been guiding human life for millennia. The beauty is that this reset doesn't require supplements, expensive technology, or elaborate routines, just intentional exposure to the right kind of light at the right times. It is one of the simplest, most powerful levers you can pull to become unshakably resilient in the face of stress and fatigue. Your nervous system operates like a finely tuned orchestra, with the autonomic branches, the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems playing the two most important sections. The sympathetic branch drives alertness, readiness, and action. The parasympathetic branch promotes recovery, repair, and calm. Many people live stuck in a near-constant sympathetic state, overstimulated by work stress, notifications, and mental noise, which leaves the parasympathetic system underactivated. This imbalance slowly erodes resilience, focus, and health. But the powerful reality is that you can consciously regulate which branch is in control by using something you do automatically all day long: breathing. Breath is a direct handle into the state of your nervous system because the mechanics of inhalation and exhalation send immediate signals to the brainstem, which in turn shifts heart rate, blood pressure, and even hormone release when you inhale deeply and quickly. You slightly increase your heart rate and trigger the sympathetic go signal. When you exhale slowly and fully, you slow the heart rate and activate the parasympathetic arrest and recover signal. This is why controlled breathing techniques can rapidly switch you from anxiety to calm or from sluggishness to alertness. One of the most effective patterns for deep restoration is the physiological sigh, a double inhale through the nose, followed by a long, slow exhale through the mouth. Fun. This pattern naturally occurs during stress recovery or before sleep, and doing just a few cycles can significantly lower levels of carbon dioxide in the blood, reduce the firing of stress-related neurons, and create a wave of calm across the body. It's a reset button that your biology already understands, but which most people never use. Intentionally equally important is the timing of these breathing practices. And it is just as you would train muscles in a gym, you can train your nervous system's flexibility by practicing intentional breathing when you're not in crisis. This conditions the pathways so that when stress hits, your body automatically knows how to downshift out of overdrive. Morning breathing sessions can prepare you for a day of clear thinking and emotional balance, while evening sessions signal the body to transition toward rest. Even short 1 to 2 minute breathing breaks during the day can keep your system from drifting too far into stress mode. Over time, this repeated intentional control reshapes your baseline. Your default state becomes calmer, more centered, and more capable of bouncing back from challenges. The connection between breath and mental resilience isn't mystical. It's rooted in neurophysiology. Nerves in your diaphragm and lungs are wired directly to the brain areas, controlling emotional regulation and vigilance. By consciously altering your breathing, you're literally changing the electrical and chemical state of your brain. This is why elite performers, from athletes to military operators, use breathwork as a non-negotiable part of their training. It provides control over something most people think is uncontrollable: the stress response. Mastering this system means you can enter a presentation, a conflict, or even a sleepless night with the ability to shift gears on command. It's the skill that turns fragility into unshakable steadiness, not by suppressing stress, but by teaching your body exactly how to navigate it with precision. And control your body's circadian rhythm is the master clock that governs almost every process in your biology. From when you feel alert to when you get sleepy, from hormone release to cell repair. At the center of this rhythm is a small cluster of neurons in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which responds primarily to light. The timing and quality of light exposure you get each day is one of the most powerful levers you have over your energy, mood, and sleep quality. In fact, one of the reasons so many people feel tired despite getting what they think is enough sleep is because they are sending the wrong signals to this master clock. They start their day indoors, surrounded by dim artificial light, and get their strongest light exposure from screens late at night, exactly backward from what the system evolved. To expect the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking is a critical window. Whoa. Getting direct sunlight exposure into your eyes during this time anchors your circadian rhythm, triggering a cascade of neurochemical events that boost alertness, focus, and energy for hours. This natural light signal tells your body to increase cortisol at the right time, early in the day, so it supports wakefulness instead of spiking at night, which disrupts sleep. It also sets a countdown for the release of melatonin about 14 to 16 hours later, ensuring your sleep pressure builds properly so you fall asleep easily and deeply. This is why spending just 5 to 10 minutes outside in morning light, longer if it's overcast, can be more powerful than an extra cup of coffee for sustaining energy throughout the day. But the other side of the equation is equally important. Controlling light at night. Bright, overhead artificial light and the blue-rich light from screens can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, delaying melatonin release and pushing your sleep cycle later. This can create a compounding effect where you stay up late, wake groggy, and rely on caffeine, which pushes your rhythm even further out of sync. The solution isn't to avoid technology entirely, but to be strategic. Dim the lights in your environment in the hours before bed, use warmer light sources, and consider reducing screen brightness or wearing blue light filtering lenses in the evening. Small changes here compound into massive improvements in sleep quality and daytime performance. This natural alignment of your light exposure with your biology doesn't just improve sleep, it has ripple effects across every system. Better sleep means better emotional regulation, faster learning, improved metabolism, and stronger immune function. The brain uses deep sleep to consolidate memories, repair neural pathways, and flush out metabolic waste, including compounds linked to cognitive decline. By setting your circadian rhythm correctly, you're essentially programming your body to operate on its optimal schedule. The modern world may be full of light cues that pull you away from that design, but with awareness and intentional habits, you can reclaim the precision timing your body was built for. And when you do, energy feels natural, focus becomes effortless, and your nights truly restore you for the challenges. Ahia breathing is one of the most underestimated tools for altering the state of both your brain and body in real time, neural time. Yet it's available to you every moment without cost or equipment. This morning light exposure also starts a timer for when melatonin, your sleep hormone, will be released later that evening, ensuring you can fall asleep more easily and rest more deeply. The problem in our modern world is that most people start their day in dim indoor lighting and then flood their eyes with artificial light late at night. This completely scrambles the signals your brain relies on to set your rhythms. Morning light anchors your body to the correct schedule, improving mood, focus, and energy throughout the day. Without it, you drift into a state of biological jet lag, where your brain and body are out of sync with your environment, leading to grogginess, poor sleep, and even long-term health issues. Just 5 to 10 minutes of direct sunlight exposure within an hour of waking can have a profound impact on how your brain functions for the next 16 hours. If it's cloudy, stay out a bit longer. Clouds don't block the critical wavelengths that your brain needs to reset its clock. Equally important is controlling light at night. Your brain evolved in a world where the only light after sunset came from fire, which is low in blue wavelengths. Yo. Today, the constant glow of phone screens, tablets, and LED bulbs sends the wrong message to your brain, tricking it into thinking it's still daytime. This delays melatonin release, fragments sleep, and robs you of the deep, restorative stages that make you feel truly rested. Simply dimming your lights in the evening and avoiding bright screens for the last hour before bed can shift your sleep quality dramatically. Even small adjustments, like using warmer light bulbs or wearing blue light filtering glasses, can protect your brain from these mixed signals and allow your body to follow its natural rhythm over time, aligning your light exposure with the cycles your body was designed for transforms your resilience. Your wakefulness during the day feels more natural and effortless. Your sleep at night becomes deeper and more refreshing. Hormones regulating hunger, metabolism, and mood stabilize, making it easier to maintain healthy habits. Your mind becomes sharper, your energy steadier, and your body more resistant to stress. Light is not just something that lets you see, it is a primary nutrient for your brain, one that determines how well you function in every waking and sleeping hour. By taking control of it, you take control of your energy, your focus, and the very rhythm of your life.